You may have learned about the Cold War in high school, college, maybe even lived through it. But did you know the impact it had on Texas, even here in Austin? Here to run through 5 things you might not have known that are part of a new online web exhibit is Madeline Moya. She is the curator of the Texas Archive of the Moving Image. Good morning to you.
Hi, Erin.
I cannot think of a better time for an online exhibit. Everyone's going to be holed up in their house this weekend, trying not to get out. And what is an online exhibit?
Well, we pulled together some of our videos that best highlight the Cold War, and we put them in a good interactive space so that people can flip through them and learn something about how the Cold War affected Texans and what it was like here at home for people living through that era. With the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall that just passed in November, and then the normalization of relations with Cuba that, Obama just announced, we thought it was an appropriate time to shed a little light on the subject.
For sure. I think we have some video clips as well that you can see if you participate in the online exhibit. So kind of walk us through what we're seeing.
So this is a propaganda film called Target Austin, produced by KTBC, that was just about Austin. It was produced in 1960, and it follows the storylines of several Austin citizens and presents the scenario of a nuclear missile attack here in Austin. This is the family that has their bomb shelter, and they have a family plan in place, and they go underground when the Conelrad announcement goes out. And then there's also a character that doesn't take it seriously and thinks it's just a drill, but she ends up being safe because her office has procedures in place, but she is horrified. And then there's the last guy who just completely disregards everything the government has told him to do, and he tries to evacuate, and he does not fare well. But you see a lot of Austin landmarks in here, and a lot of familiar faces. Matt Martinez of Matt's El Rancho is in here, and then Tom Atra, who sold newspapers downtown. And you even see a mushroom cloud descend onto Austin.
Yeah, so really localizing it to what happened during the Cold War here in Central Texas.
Exactly.
Is it a self-paced exhibit? So what, can you open the exhibit, start looking at things for a little bit, maybe leave and come back to it and pick up where you left off?
Absolutely, yes. It's kind of broken down by sections and different eras of the Cold War, different stages. And yes, you can just flip through. We have some newspaper articles from Texas newspapers that accompany the films, so you get a good idea of what the atmosphere was like. This video is really interesting. This is about United High School in Laredo, Texas. It was the first high school in the nation to build all of its classrooms completely underground, so that in the event of a nuclear disaster, they could lock it down, and there's a shelter, and 2,000 people from the community could come in, and they had food and supplies that could last for several weeks. There was even a decontamination shower in the entrance so that you could wash the nuclear fallout off of you as you entered the school.
Wow.
And this just shows, people weren't just worried about New York and D.C. People in Laredo, Texas were scared of nuclear attack.
Yeah, it affected lives everywhere, and everyone responding in their own way. Is the exhibit free? Can you access it for free?
It is. It's just on our website, which is texasarchive.org. At Texas Saw Red. You'll see it here. Yeah, it's posted everywhere, so you can get to it. And then in February, we're releasing a corresponding lesson plan for K-12 teachers to use that draws on these materials, which is also free.
Great. We're going to have links to this on our website at KXAN.com.